And there was a time where, see, in this world, not everybody is happy to see us grow. There is a lot of envy. And then there are people who want to see you grow, but then not more than them. That category is also there. They'll bless you. As long as you are below them, they are happy. They'll keep blessing you. But as soon as you start rising in life, and they feel envious. So ISKCON growing from nothing. So there was a lot of envy. And ISKCON Mayapur faced so many problems, so many attacks, to an extent that uh, Bhakti Raghav Maharaj, he lost his leg. There was a uh, little hand grenade thrown at him, and then there were shots fired, things were stolen, deities were stolen. And finally, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj said, he remembered this incident when there were similar problems in Yogapeeth. He said, let's have Narasimha. And history is the proof that since the day Narasimha came to Mayapur, everything stopped. All nonsense stopped. And anybody who tried to create some problem like earlier, people from outside used to attack, either their legs would break or something would happen to them. So who is Lord Narasimha? He is Krishna only. But when Krishna comes to protect us, he takes the form of Lord Narasimha. We see in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that whenever his devotees were in danger, he would especially assume the form of Lord Narasimha. So it's a very, very special form. Although to non-devotees he seems very ferocious, but for devotees he is very loving. Like devotees find that picture of Lord Narasimha, the famous picture of Lord Narasimha, where he is tearing apart Hiranyakashipu with his blood all over. And there is the Prahlada standing with a garland. He's taking his intestines out. And no, you would not generally put such a painting in your house if there is a murderer and he's stabbed somebody and is taking out. That's like very scary. But this picture is worshipped by devotees. Non-devotees cannot relate to it. Once one Buddhist monk, he came to ISKCON Chapati temple. And because they are like non-violence, non-violence, non-violence. I mean, they will eat everything, but on the flight, everything, their dinner, lunches, that only. But, oh, non-violence. When you ask them, then what do you eat? This, oh, we believe in whatever comes, you accept that. So, once Gaur Gopal Prabhu, he was traveling, and the air hostess came to him, and he's in saffron. So she asked her, so would you like to have veg or non-veg? And he looks at her, he said, at least you should have the courtesy, because must be an Indian airline, that's why I'm in saffron, how can you ask me this? She said, I'm sorry, but last time I had a very difficult experience. There was a Buddhist monk, and when I asked to offer him vegetarian food, he said, what this? What nonsense? Can't you ask me veg or non-veg? So therefore she said. So he came to Chapati, and when he looks at this picture, it was at the reception. What is this? This is our Lord we worship. And what is he doing? He's killing this person, he's taking his intestines out, and there is blood all over. And he was, and who is this boy? He's the son of that person who is being killed. What is he doing? He's offering a garland to the Lord. He never came back. Never came back. So non-devotees cannot understand Lord Narasimha, but he is most kind. And since the day he has entered Mayapur, unlimited reciprocations with his devotees. And now he was so eager, I think, to get into his new home. He is the first one to move into the new temple. And it's the biggest temple of Lord Narasimha in the world. And everyone, especially the children, they love him. And he's known as a Lord of protection, the divine protector. He is Krishna, but in a form when Krishna wants to protect you, he will appear as Lord Narasimha. Therefore, devotees make special efforts to worship Him, to pray to Him, and it is the most kind, it is the most compassionate form of the Lord for devotees. It is ferocious, but it is ferocious for the non devotees, for those who trouble the devotees. Like a mother, if you see her in an angry mood, that is for others, but that's also an expression for her own children. Like a tigress, she becomes extremely ferocious when she has to protect her cubs. But she is not angry, it's just that anger is an expression of her love for her own kids. So similarly, this form, Lord Nrsingadev, it is the most compassionate form of the Lord for his devotees. In this form, he is assuring us that I am there. I am there to protect you. And he also happens to be the divine protector of our entire mission. And there are so many incidents, contemporary, ancient, where he has appeared to devotees. There was one family in South Africa, and their daughter, I think 2-3 years old, she was very, very fond of Lord Nrsingadev. Somehow children have a special attraction towards the Lord. And maybe he also likes them because he remembers Prahlada, seeing them. So this little girl, she used to love Nrsingadev. She used to sing Arati. Narsingh Arati is the first prayer she memorized. So one fine day she was playing outside her house, and suddenly the ball which she was playing with, it went onto the street. And she ran after it. She didn't realize there was a big truck coming. And by the time she picked up, she looked at the truck, it was too late. And her father saw this, and the truck just passed by. And the father, he couldn't understand what to do. He just jumped off the first floor of the house, and he almost broke his knees. He just somehow managed to crawl. But then he saw the daughter was lying on the other side of the street, on fresh green grass, happily on her back. He went and picked her up. What happened? I thought you were hurt. And she said, no. When I saw that truck coming, I simply just remembered Lord Nrsingadev. I called out to him. He came. He picked me up and put me on this side. And then she is telling, but there is something I told him. He should do that. I said, what? He has big nails. I think he should just trim those nails. This little girl is telling the father, nails? How did you see? He's left some marks on my waist. And he lifted that thing, and there were marks on her waist. It remained for quite a few years. She's telling, you should trim your nails. You have very big nails. But anyways, she was taken to the hospital just to make sure there was no internal injury. And she had been hit by a truck. The doctor was, let's do an x-ray. When the report was brought, he chastised his assistant that you brought the wrong person's report. It shows everything is clean. No, it is the same person's report, and it is impossible. And then he just looked around, examined the little girl, and he saw the waist, and he's telling his parents, these are not the marks of some truck accident. These are as if some wild animal has caught hold of her, something like a lion. Now this devotee couldn't tell him who that lion was. But when the whole story came out, it was in the news. That doctor, that police officer, all people involved became devotees. Just because of this incident. Because there is that simple faith among children. They are not complicated like us. Therefore, the 4 sons of Brahma, the Chatush Kumaras, they have deliberately remained little children. They don't grow beyond 5. Because they told Lord Brahma, we just don't want to get into all this complicated world. Because when you grow up, your mind becomes complicated, and you lose your innocence, you lose your purity. Children are pure. They are not duplicitous. Like if I call up a little child here and I ask him, okay, tell me something about what happens at home between your mother and father. Do they fight? They will start telling everything. And the parents have to hide their faces sometimes. I do that in Mumbai just for fun. But so this is a very, very special day, Lord Narasimha Dev's appearance day. Among all the incarnations of the Lord, two are considered most prominent. One is Lord Ramchandra and the other one is Lord Narasimha Dev. There is fasting till dusk, and then Prahlada. How did he become such a powerful devotee? I mean, right from his birth, he had such devotion to the Lord. So the example is given in his past life. He was not a devotee because of his bad association. He got into wrong company. He spoiled his life. He was into bad habits. And then one day, unknowingly, he didn't get any food. He didn't get any water. Miserably in the forest. So unknowingly, he happened to fast on this special day. He wasn't fasting. It's just that on that day, he didn't eat, he didn't have water. So the bhakti process is such that even unknowingly somebody engages in it, he will get the rewards the person gets in the end are 100%. So just because of fasting that day, staying awake throughout, not even having water, unknowingly, the result was that the amount of spiritual credits he received made him qualified to be born as a great devotee of Lord Narasimha, that same Lord, and become famous forever. So sometimes when we engage in these activities, like we listen to Bhagavad, we listen to the holy names, we chant his holy names, we associate with devotees, we take prasad, we don't realize that something is happening because we are living in this age of machines where people have gotten used to, you press the button, things should happen. And if nothing is happening, so many buttons we have been pressing for years. No, it's not like that. Every time we are engaging in these activities, we are accumulating unlimited spiritual credits. And in due course of time, we will be rewarded. Like Srila Narad Muni, in his past life, he was simply the son of a maid servant. Father is not even mentioned. And just for 4 months, he associated with devotees, he listened to their discussions, Bhagavad, he honored their Maharaj, and that changed him, he became a devotee. But he didn't get the rewards of his devotional service within the same lifetime. But he was accumulating, and he continued to practice his devotional service as taught by the devotees. And when he left this world, when he left this body, immediately he was awarded the body of the great sage Narad. And now he is eternally famous, traveling, the greatest preacher. So what we are doing when we are engaging in these activities, we are preparing for our future life. And this is the human life. Srila Prabhupada used to say that nowadays people are not interested in their next life. They think this is the only life, they are only interested in instant gratification. But till 70s, even a rickshawala in India was very conscious, very attentive. He would say, no, I don't want to engage in this sinful activity. I don't want to spoil my next birth. And now there is a philosophy people create just so that they don't feel accountable. They don't have to feel accountable. YOLO, you only live once. This is a new philosophy. Who has seen tomorrow? Just do it. No, just because I do not accept the law of gravity, I don't accept it. I jump off the 10th floor doesn't mean I'll not break myself. We cannot break God's laws. We can only break ourselves against God's laws. Just because I do not accept the red light At the signal, I don't accept, I'll keep driving. The punishment will come, the reaction must come in some way or the other. So the bhakti process which Srila Prabhupada has given is so powerful that even if unknowingly we are doing it, the reward we shall achieve in the end are 100%. It's just a matter of time. Once done, Srila Prabhupada said it will lead us to perfection sooner or later. Like the sixth kind of Srimad Bhagavatam describes the pastime of Ajamil. He led a very, very sinful life. In his childhood, he was devoted to the Lord. He used to worship the Shaligram Shila, but then he got deviated due to the association of a prostitute. He spent his whole life enjoying with her. He had 10 children, and by the time he was 88, his youngest child was 10 years old. And just to please her, just to maintain her, he started killing, robbing, cheating, gambling, and he took to all kinds of sinful habits, food habits, also born in a very nice Brahman family. But towards the end, when the messengers of Maharaj came to take him away, he just got so scared, and when we are scared, we just see whoever is close by, or whoever we are attached to, that person comes to our mind. He immediately called out to his son Narayan. It wasn't meant for Lord Narayan, but nevertheless it is the name of Narayan. It is the original name. So, therefore the name is the most powerful way to attract the attention of the Lord, or any person. There are so many people sitting in this room, and I can say, oh, the one wearing blue jacket, red jacket, pink jacket. People may not pay attention as soon as they use the name immediately. Narayan is the original name of God. Baki sab log naam rakhte hain. People keep their children's name Narayan. Nowadays they don't. Nowadays the names are kept based on the latest trend, fashion. But the Vedic system was that the names were always given based on 3 criteria. One is the family lineage. Second is the activities of the individual. And third is the qualities exhibited by the person. That's how the names were given. So Narayan is the original name of the Lord. Even though he called out to his son, there was no intention. But that nullified all his sins, all his sinful reactions, not just from this lifetime, but previous lifetime as well. So, unknowingly, Prahlada in his past life fasted on Narasimha, and he accumulated so many spiritual credits, and because of that, he was just like in airlines. When you're flying, you don't know there's something happening, but you're accumulating miles, isn't it? And one fine day, you go to the check-in counter, oh, you've been upgraded to business class, first class. So it doesn't happen immediately, but you're accumulating, and one day the miles are so big, that account is so big that you can choose to fly comfortably. That's what happens. Every time we are honoring Prasad, every time we are sitting and associating with devotees, chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord, every time we take darshan, every time we worship the deities, every time we study the scriptures, we are accumulating spiritual credits. And in due course of time, we shall be rewarded. So never think that nothing is happening. Something is happening, even unknowingly, if you do. What to speak of doing these things knowingly? We are preparing for our future. We are preparing for back to Godhead. We are preparing for the spiritual world, which is our real home. So therefore, we are accumulating. And one day, suddenly, Prabhupada said, you will realize, you will wake up and you will realize, oh, you are a pure devotee now. And now you are liberated. You are not living in this world. So you have to just continue the process. So Narasimha, as I mentioned in the beginning, his worship, especially in this age, for everyone, is extremely important. For protection, for removal of obstacles, for our own devotional service, we offer him special prayers. There is a special prayer for Narasimha Kavach recited by Prahlada. And this prayer also mentions the power of that Kavach as you go through the translations. How if somebody is affected by the influence of bad planets, somebody has some health issues, especially related to the gut, the stomach. If somebody has weak mind or troubled by enemies or facing obstacles in life of any kind, you just recite this Narasimha Kavach regularly and everything will fall into place. It is so powerful and free of cost. But people won't do these things. They would go to astrologers, they would go to some healers, they would go to counselors, pay them thousands and thousands and thousands of money, rupees, dollars, and still do not get any benefit. This is the influence of Kali Yuga. That the main mission of Kali is to divert our attention away from God, away from Krishna. Because the Krishna Bhakti, the hearing, chanting can nullify his influence and therefore it tries to create distractions. In the Srimad Bhagavatam we find Parikshit Maharaj, where he's going around and he meets the personality of Kali in the first canto. So the long story short, he's about to kill Kali, but Kali asks for forgiveness, he falls at his feet, he forgives him, he gives him few places to live. But when he was leaving, Parikshit Maharaj was thinking, it's alright, Kali, it's his yuga, so I can't stop him, but it's okay, let him come, although he is the most sinful. But in Kali Yuga, the Lord's name is also very powerful, so in front of the Lord's name, he will have no power. He was only thinking in his mind, but Kali started laughing hysterically. And Parikshit Maharaj got very angry. He said, "You laughing at me?" He said, "No, I'm laughing at your mentality. I'm laughing at your thoughts. Yes, you are right that in front of the Lord's holy name, I have no power. But in my yuga, I will create so many distractions that I will not let them chant only." And this happened. People have enough time to watch TV for hours, 6 hours. They have enough time to Google, be on Instagram. If you see their screen time,